It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to The New Next, a podcast that addresses current events and how they will impact the future. Who ended up becoming a big seller. I think Apple has the capabilities, and we talked about Roku, some of the selling stuff in the past. I think Apple has the availability, and especially from what Joel's been telling us about with the AI technology and stuff, Disney already has everything in place that you just need somebody to be able to like, oh crap, I really enjoy that shirt that Mickey Mouse is wearing. And you click on it, however that works, and you can go ahead and go to the Disney store and buy that shirt immediately without even thinking about it. I think Apple brings that kind of presence that we can say that this is going to be a reality, as opposed to Disney. Disney doesn't think that way. They're thinking still, how can they get more people in the parks? How can they get more people to watch the next Marvel movie?
Well, and we talked about this when we talked about the Roku integration partnership with Walmart a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think from exactly what you're saying. So usability sense, if you're watching a video on Amazon Prime, you can press down and see all the characters that are in there and click, or the actors, click on their bios and follow up through that chain like that. Same exact functional experience could be done with ID tags on clothes and merchandise too. So,
and I think
that's a good point, because you have your most loyal buyers there and Disney purchasers. I've never met anybody more loyal to a brand than the most hardcore Disney fans.
And I think on top of that is Amazon with MGM and Netflix with whatever they're doing. These aren't primarily technology companies. These are primarily, Amazon has a little bit more flexibility because of all the things that they've become to encompass, but originally it was a bookseller, and they've slowly built it on where now we don't even think about books anymore at all. Whereas Apple is a technology company, and, Apple's best sellers outside of the iPhone, which is more of a popular thing, is actually like the mainframe servers and stuff, the type of, like the things that they actually make their bucks on outside
business services.
Yeah, business services type stuff. And most people don't think of Apple that way. That's not the brand that they have, but they're the ones continuing trying to find ways to make business. And Joel, you feel free to just go like, nope, that's wrong. But they're trying to make the ways for anything that's computer related that it's top notch, maybe a little pricier. I don't know on that part, but it's definitely the top notch. Whereas to do Final Cut Pro, it moved it from a thing of where, oh, this is cool, to being, this is still the technology that everybody's either basing their movie production off of. And now that that's becoming more standardized, we need to be able to have computers and servers and stuff that can actually handle the rates of animation and the rates of fill in the blank. And that's where I think Apple can really push this technology forward. Sorry. Joel, go, please.
No, this is super interesting because it's not something I'm as well versed in. So it's really been, thank you for educating us. I have like a million things to Google now. And it's really timely too, because they're talking about that changeover, right? And it's
it's interesting to think about it in this merge though, because you said earlier you called MGM like a content delivery mechanism or something like that. And I kind of think like Disney's kind of like that too. They have you have Apple, which is a digital content delivery mechanism. Essentially, you're either delivering content, you communicating with each other, or you communicating with the internet. And you kind of have this like merging of a traditional content delivery mechanism through physical locations and stuff like that, merging in and potentially getting some of the synergies that they have of really going into this digital framework where you have that digital foundation too.
Right. So MGM is a movie studio. I mean, I know it's more than that, but it's a movie studio. Their goal was to make content, and that's all they provided. Disney decided early on, I say early on, 30 years after the creation of, Snow White and some of this other stuff, they decided to build these amusement parks. And so they went into a completely different sphere of entertainment, and they found that they can make more money doing this entertainment. So it started small, but in travel.
But they're still they've still historically delivered goods through the digital world rather than through a technology mechanism through your phone.
They haven't created technology. They did try a 4D type style with when Fantasia came out the first time that bombed miserably.
Well, I'm just talking about kind of like the point of sale, where the money's coming through.
Because even in the parks, the way that Disney used to be is they would have companies who were generally like AT&T, Apple. They would come in and they would sponsor rides, and they would have a way of using technology. So there was a lot of technology investment with Imagineers were working with, AT&T to create this kind of thing. So Disney has always been very pro technology, but they're not the ones who
they're not a
the
technology first.
Yeah. So that's why I think like Apple in particular really allows them to potentially move forward in a way that some of these other companies and I hope if you would like to learn more about the New Next podcast, find us at thenewNextPodcast.com, where you can suggest a topic you would like for us to cover. If you enjoyed what you heard, share the podcast, tell a friend about it, or rate us with 5 stars.